Good evening and welcome to the February 12th, 2019 San Bruno City Council meeting, calling it to order. We also want to thank the Garden Club for providing the floral arrangement. If I could ask, please, Mr. Chief Barberini, if you could lead us in the pledge, because you said you won.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll.
Councilmember Davis? Here. Councilmember Medina?
Here.
Councilmember Salazar?
Here.
Vice Mayor O'Connell? Here. Mayor Medina?
Here. Any speaker cards? Any speaker
We
cards?
do have one. Bob
Okay.
Chandra?
Good evening.
Good evening. Appreciate the opportunity to speak with you today. And I want to thank Councilman Marty Medina for inviting us today. Some of you may have heard about the scandal involving Harvey Weinstein. Weinstein is a Hollywood producer, and over 30 years, he sexually harassed or raped over 80 women that we know about. He did this over such a long period of time, it makes you wonder, how did he get away with it for so long? The answer to that question came in an expose from The New Yorker, which described a system Weinstein used against his victims using private investigative firms. The PI firms were used to intimidate and harass these women so as to deter them from going public with their concerns. If they were walking on foot, the PI firm would follow her around town. If she was in the park with her family, the PI would come in an intimidating SUV and park nearby. The point was to silence Weinstein's Me Too victims, and it worked for 30 years. This system is called covert harassment, and it was not just Weinstein who's used this system. Increasingly, it's a collection of techniques, a protocol that the wealthy and the powerful are using against the powerless. It systematically breaks down the target in a secretive, psychological way. Covert harassment often includes improper surveillance, such as the kind I described, tailing and following, hacking of devices, and coordinated harassment. It is meant to cause fear, stress, and paranoia in the subject. Another group that uses covert harassment is Scientology. Leah Remini, a Hollywood actress and former Scientologist, produced a documentary showing video evidence of how Scientology members follow and harass critics. A Department of Justice study found several 100,000 Americans suffer from this predatory behavior. In other words, we know the problem is pervasive. Our support group, Live Free, works with dozens of victims, and 2/3 are women. The problem goes far beyond Weinstein. We are requesting that San Bruno pass a citywide resolution condemning covert harassment. We believe such a resolution would make the seriousness of the crime clear to everyone involved. Most of all, it would make the victims of this systematized harassment feel that they've been heard. A resolution would put the Weinsteins out there on notice. We request to meet with city staff and discuss the issue in greater detail and explore feasibility of drafting a city resolution to this end. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anybody else from the public that wanted to speak on items that are not on the agenda? If not, we'll move on to announcements. First and foremost, we want to recognize the participants of the recent Battle of the Badges, this blood drive that was held on January 2nd at Fire Station 51. Chief Crest.
Good evening, Mayor Medina, members of the council. Yeah, we did want to provide a report on the recent blood drive for a variety of reasons. First of all, we want to recognize the members of the public who turned out to support this event. It was as you're going to hear in a minute, it was a fabulous turnout, and so as usual, the the City with a Heart really stood up and donated blood. Secondly, we want to acknowledge staff that put this effort together, and behind me you see Catherine Curd and Sherry Campbell from the police department who took on this project, and as you'll hear in a second, is a very involved project and made it the success that it was. And then lastly, we want to acknowledge our cooperation with the American Red Cross. We have Doug Coons from the Red Cross here. This idea originated from Doug. Doug is a liaison to the Community Preparedness Committee, and he brought this idea to me.